Joining us now is Ojinika Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Janex.
You never get tired, do you? How was your weekend? It was excellent. How are you?
Good to see you.
Great. Good to see you too. Good to see you, Ayo.
Hello, Oji. Good
How are
to see
you?
Too. Very well, thank
well,
you.
guess who's trending, guys? Rufai Oseni and Arise TV. I mean, I cannot believe this. They tried to shut you up, Rufai. How's that possible? No, tell us, please, quickly.
I don't have problems with everybody. I love everybody, like I say.
Yeah.
This life, there's nothing in this life.
No,
Well,
you're doing your job and you're doing it very well. Kudos to you and just keep it up. And
Thank
I'm
you.
very proud of the management of Arise News for sticking by truth and good journalism. Well
Thank
done.
you so
Well
much.
done,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Bati.
Thanks
well
to
done
Prince
to you all.
and thanks to everybody out there.
Well, all right. Good morning to you viewers. Let's begin what's trending with this video showing some alleged members of the indigenous peoples of Biafra shooting sporadically in the air after attacking campaign vehicles belonging to the All Progressives Congress. In the video, the men could be heard reiterating the sit-at-home order declared following the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of IPOB. The men could also be heard saying that anyone who works with the Nigerian government will die. Let's take a look.
APC, don't fire them. This government is our government. Not for Nigeria government. APC, don't fire them. Don't fire APC. Don't fire APC. Don't fire APC. This government is our government. Anybody will work with Nigeria government will die. This government is our government. Be you who? This government is our government. This is the APC motto. This is APC motto, APC motto, APC motto, APC motto. This government is our government. Sit at home, I've already been declared. This government is our government. Anybody who works with Nigeria government must go live down. This government is our government.
Well, Rufai, I thought it was important to highlight this story. This is so sad. And, you know, those people committing that heinous crime under the whatever guise of in the indigenous people of Biafra or whatever it is unacceptable. As you know, IPOB has come out to say that they are not a violent group. These people are criminals, and we must say that as well. This is unacceptable.
Whatever the case is, the APC, just like every political party, has a right to campaign. And we condemn this attack against that APC vehicle, against the campaign of the APC in the state this happened, and against these criminal groups that want to thwart our democracy. We must fight groups like this out. And the security authorities should be able to investigate this video and apprehend the people that have done this very terrible act. We can't build a country this way. And that's why you see, when people think that 2023 election is about tribalism, is about ethnic sentiments, it's about religious slants, they're joking. They have no idea the keg of gunpowder Nigeria is sitting on. Insecurity has become an existential threat to Nigeria. Look at us today. We can't provide enough food because farmers can't go to the farm. So with all the money being spent on agriculture, it won't come out because you have insecurity too. And let's not deceive ourselves. It's happening to all of us. INEC offices have been attacked. Just only this morning, I heard about another attack in Imo State.
Unacceptable.
So you are having one too many attacks, and presidential candidates think it's a joke. And that's why I beg everybody. And that's why I laugh at people that think it's about rabid political sentiment, because they're deluded. That's the highest level of delusion. I beg everybody, after 25th of February, after elections have been won and lost, after different opposition has been shown to whoever that might emerge, we must come together and remember that Nigeria belongs to all of us, and give our critical criticism to whoever emerge to make this country work, because this country is on a precipice.
Well said.
It is burning down in our faces, and we must do something. We can't have a country where political parties are attacked in broad daylight because of sit-at-home orders.
People died.
And people died.
People died. This is
We cannot condone this in the country.
Yes.
And that's why this election, we need competent leadership and the character of our leaders.
Well said. Ayo, your take on this story?
I totally agree with what Rufai has said. We cannot build a nation in this way. Absolutely not. There was a picture that just flashed in the fuller video where I saw a man in uniform. I'd like to understand what his role is, because we cannot ignore the agitations in the southeast. We cannot. And I know that two presidential candidates have said, that's Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Waziri Atiku Abubakar, have said that they will dialogue with the IPOB agitators. But beyond dialogue, this is a criminal act and we must deal with it. Absolutely. Very unfortunate and very sad.
Dr. Abati.
Okay. One of the major concerns as Nigerians prepare for the 2023 general election has been security, peace. Hence, you had the group led by General Abisalami Abubakar and Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka and others, getting the political parties to sign the peace accord. The Inspector General of Police and INEC Chief, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, have both met on many occasions with these political parties, reminding them of the need to give peace a chance. Now, if you look at the various political parties, each one of them goes to campaign, either at home or abroad. They talk about security issues. They promise to ensure that Nigeria is secure and to address the issue of violence and thuggery across the country. And yet, in spite of all of this, you still get these reports about violence, about disunity, about disregard for the peace accord. So what are the issues? Number one, simply that it doesn't look as if the political parties believe in the peace accord that they signed, or that the presidential candidates themselves, are beginning charity from whom? From within their own political parties and among their own followers. If you say you are going to ensure peace in Nigeria and unity, okay, we have not seen that evidence. Some of these people who make noise and who are removing people's posters and attacking other people, they probably have their own political beliefs, because in that video, someone was saying this government is our government. I imagine that the person is referring to the next government. So there's work for the political parties to make sure that when they talk about security, they have to demonstrate that commitment to peace. The second issue that this throws up again is, where are the security agencies? The security agencies keep telling us that they are ready. The Inspector General of Police on one occasion said that an interagency collaborative effort has seen to the deployment of policemen, the military, and also civil defense officers to protect INEC facilities and ensure peace ahead of the election. What has been the effect of that? Since he made that statement, there have been many cases of attacks here and there. So, is the police ready? Is the national security, are the national security agencies, are they sure that they are prepared for this election? Number three is the reign of lawlessness. Only over the weekend, Festus Okoye, the director in charge of voter education at INEC, was saying, or rather the commissioner in charge of voter education, was saying that, look, these political parties don't believe in this electoral act. And in fact, some politicians and stakeholders are still quoting the 2010 Act. But whether it is the 2010 Act that they are quoting or the 2022 Act, which is an amendment, a repeal of the 2010 Act, there is no electoral act that recommends violence. So it's again a question of enforcement of the law. Because as I have pointed out here, specific sections, 92, 91, 93 of the Electoral Act talks about violence, improper conduct. So the security agencies have to deal with this. Whether it is the violence is coming from ethnic gladiators, or is coming from party talks, or is coming from any other quarter. If there is no peace, if there is no security, there can be no peaceful elections.
Absolutely.
And the elections being peaceful is the height of it. And this process must begin before, during, and even after the elections.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Well, in another development, a former governor of Enugu State Chimaroke Nnamani, has come under fire on social media for supporting the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The former governor, while speaking at the inauguration of the Tinubu-Shetima Independent Campaign Council in Enugu State over the weekend, said that he is not supporting Tinubu for personal gains, but for the interest of the people of the Southeast, adding that the former governor of Lagos has the capacity to fix the country and that Igbo people must use him as a bridge to build support across the country. Let's take some tweets. This is from Olaye, who wrote, "Did you ever protect the interests of those you governed in 8 years against your personal interests? Mind you, those you once plundered have reason to plunder you." Well, author wrote, "Ask yourself, why is Chimaroke of PDP supporting Tinubu? Look at his administration and that of Tinubu. If you see a similarity in their use of thuggery and crackdown on dissidents, it may help in understanding the problem going on in Enugu right now." Well, Ita wrote, "Leave party alone. Chimaroke Nnamani, your brother, is not a member of APC, but he's ardently supporting Tinubu. Mr. Ono, another brother of yours, also in the PDP, is supporting Tinubu. They know his capacity. Leave tribal sentiments." This is the war of politicians and tribal. I don't know what to even call it at this, what word to use at this point. I mean, I think this is just unnecessary bantering. I mean, I think anybody is free to support whatever candidate, whoever they want to support at this point. But it's also quite interesting to note, is he still a member of the PDP or not? Chimaroke Nnamani.
No, we live in a country, obviously,
I
we live in a country that party ideology doesn't exist. All the presidential candidates that are running to be president today in Nigeria, have they not cross-carpeted from one party to another in the last years? So is there anybody that is true and true? A party man? No. But please, also, people have the right to support whoever they want to support. See, people have the right to be ridiculous to the things you hold dear. That's their choice. Don't fault them for their choice. But you can disagree without being disagreeable. For me, what is causing tension in our political space is that a lot of people are disagreeing and they want to kill others and destroy others and bring others down because they do not see things the way they see things. Mr. Chimaroke Nnamani has a right to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's his choice. That's who he feels that is competent. For you, whoever you want to support, you can support. But what are the most important problems? Because you see, in this identity politics we try to play, we lose the baby with the bathwater. The most important thing is the fact that this presidential candidate should be able to create solutions to the problem of insecurity like we played out just now, unemployment that breeds insecurity, and the fact that Nigeria as a country is going down the drain. We can't deny that. The economic indices and everything shows us that. Nigeria has the third highest number of unemployment in the world as we speak today, according to steers.com, a research group. How can we solve those problems? For me, I don't care who emerges. What I care is the problem of Nigerians solved? Oji, the reason why we are still doing political bickering about who emerges is because we have not developed governance to an appreciable height. At a point, Spain and Luxembourg couldn't reach an agreement of who is going to be in the central government leadership. This country had no clear leaders for a couple of months and they still survived. The reason why there's so much emphasis is that we have not built structures, we have not built viable systems that irrespective of who is there, a country can still function. That's the task that behoves on us, that we should build, and we should build up the country.
All right.
Whoever is campaigning today is just a political face. 30, 40 years ago, we're talking about the Awolowo. Today is Peter Obi, Tinubu, and Atiku. Tomorrow we'll talk about another name. But the question is, 30, 40 years ago, the problems we talked about in Nigeria has not changed.
Well, all right. Let's take another story. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has reiterated his stance regarding the crisis rocking the party, stating that it is no fault of his, that his crisis is yet to be resolved. Atiku made the statement at the People's Town Hall series for presidential candidates and their running mates organized by Channels Television over the weekend. When asked why things have been difficult to sort out within his party, Atiku blamed the River State Governor, Wike, stating that he has met with Wike 5 times within and outside the country on the development and is still waiting for a resolution. Atiku's comment comes shortly after Wike, during a church service on Sunday, said that it is an insult to Nigerians for another northerner to be contesting the presidency since the current president is from the north.
You say Nigeria is not ripe for Muslim ticket. I agree. But Nigeria is ripe for presidency to remain in one zone. I mean, just look at the insult. You blow hot and cold. If you know, yes, that is wrong, that's why Nigerians also say it is wrong for presidency to remain in one zone. And most of you, you don't sit there, you don't ask yourself a question. Somebody coming to sell this kind of cheap ideas. You will not ask the same person. I agree with what you are saying. I agree with you. I agree. But look at now what we are saying here. Your party is having presidential candidate. Your party is having the national chairman. Your party wants the president to go to the same zone that President Buhari is coming out from.
A lot to discuss here, but we'll take our final story before we discuss. Following the announcement by the Independent National Electoral Commission that more than 900,000 permanent voter cards are yet to be collected in Lagos State alone, a video now making the rounds on social media showed a man removing more than a dozen PVCs that were dumped in a suckerway in the Okpe for local government area of Lagos State. Let's take a look at that video.
Ọlọ́run wá ṣe àti rí ọ̀wọ́n tó fẹ́ kí bàbá wa Tinubu kó wọlé voters card tó ń ṣe òun eléyìí inú sọ́kàwé lọ́rọ̀ tọ́jú ẹ̀ sí ẹ wo bó ṣe pọ̀ òun náà kó jáde yìí o ó pọ̀ o ẹ wo ṣẹ́tìrì bó ṣe ń kó jáde. Olóde nílé o. Olónílé o. Oya check away. It still remain. Ẹ̀rí ìtọ́tọ́jú ẹ̀ sí ní ẹ̀ tó bá dọjọ́ ìbò. Àwa máa ṣe kí ni wọ́n máa lọ kó jáde ẹ wo. Sọ́kàwé kò sí gbẹ̀mbẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ lólé o. Oya ká ìta papọ̀. Raise her up now. Ẹ wo lé aláàlá lé òkú afọ́. Ibẹ̀ la wà yo ẹ wo ṣe kó jáde ẹ wo. Bọ́yẹ̀ kó jáde nìyí o. Ó sì pọ̀ ń bẹ́ o. Ìkọ́ tó ń ṣe nìyí o, ọ̀wọ́n Yíbò ni o.
Check here.
I believe this man was arrested over the weekend. I mean, this is what we are facing here. Yes. We're talking about over 900,000 PVCs yet to be collected, and we're finding PVCs in people's homes.
So the big question, OJ, is who or why are those PVCs in the Sokowe ground? I mean, ignore what he said because it's propaganda. You can't. He has no evidence, or it's not fact-based for what he said that, oh, these are XYZ people are the ones who put the PVCs in the Sokowe. There are big questions around the management and the efficiency of the process by INEC in terms of your registration and then collection of PVCs. Unfortunately, those who want to vote have not been able to collect their PVCs, and there have been many reasons for that, which isn't good enough for the Nigerian people. And then you wonder why people are throwing away their PVCs, or we are having PVCs being found in places like Sokowe. Before I conclude on this, I want to go back to the first story on Wike and the internal wranglings in the PDP. I'm hoping that they would put aside the issues in the party in order to face squarely the ambitions to Aso Rock or to winning the elections in 2023. This doesn't all go well for the party. And I must say that the issues that Atiku is talking about hasn't been sorted. So he said he's met Wike 5 times, but Wike has been consistent with the reason why he's not supporting the candidate. He's not happy with the fact that the president of the chairman of the national party and the candidate are from the same geopolitical zone. And also now he's bringing up the fact that it's going to to the northern, it's not properly zoned. So he should face the issue. He's not speaking to the issues, unfortunately.
Well, Dr. Abati, you have the floor.
No. Okay, first, it is not right that PVCs are found in drainage channels, because the INEC chairman has made it very clear that that's the only thing you can use to vote. And if those PVCs end up in drainage channels, the question is, how did they get there? How did they escape from INEC offices? There has been no report of an INEC office being attacked in any local government in Lagos State. We only heard of 5 places outside Lagos State, Ogun State, Osun State. So how did these PVCs escape? Now, it must be investigated. Again, big job for the security agencies to see that the process of keeping these PVCs is very, secure. Otherwise, you have a situation whereby people will be disenfranchised, and then also the entire process will be compromised. Because if PVCs get into wrong hands, it means that those persons who are arguing about manipulation of the process, they may well have a case. As for PDP internal politics, well, the presidential candidate of the PDP says he's still looking forward to a resolution.
Yes.
Okay, but it depends on them how they sort it out. Apparently, they keep talking. But you can see Wike is speaking from a position of principle about equity, about fairness, about justice. As for the other story about Senator Nnamani, where he's representing Enugu East on the platform of the PDP. So what he's doing is anti-party activity.
That's what I was asking.
So the question to ask is, we may not be running a parliamentary government, but even in the presidential system that we run, is it morally correct? Is it a matter of principle for you to be in a party that you are representing and to be campaigning for another party? So there are issues there, both of principle and morality.
Very well said.
And discipline.
Yeah, very well said, Dr. Abati. Thank you all for your great analysis, as always. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.